Welcome to European Railway issue number 54, the DVD magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this programme, we call in on the French high-speed line to the northwest of Dijon. A study of diesel traction around the German town of Muldorf, including Class 77s on freight and Class 218s on passenger. We look at action on the Matterhorn Gotthard Bahn in Switzerland. A visit is made to neighbouring Austria as we look at the single-track cross-border line south of Ebenfurt. Polish diesels are seen at work on a double-track line close to the town of Nysa. Two locations are studied around the French capital Paris, the first looking at Class BV 17,000s at work near Cré, and the second a study of mainline action to the southeast on the route to La Roche-Migienne. We call into Antwerpen to witness diesels and electrics at work on the main freight line out of the docks, including a last look at the Class 20 electrics in action. And finally, a detailed study of a busy German main line running to the south of Ypres. We begin in the central part of France, just to the northwest of Dijon, on the TGV high-speed line linking Paris with Lyon and southwards towards Marseille and Nîmes. Our filming location is just to the north of the small village of Dampierre-en-Morvan, on a convenient and quiet road overbridge. Approaching the camera on the 25th of June 2013 is TGV duplex set number 280. These train sets dominate workings on this route. Virtually identical are the TGV Daci train sets, such as this pair seen here. As can be seen, speeds are high, with most of the trains seen travelling at around 300 km per hour. During our 55-minute stay, no less than 8 trains were seen, although you have to be quick to catch them on film. This pairing sees a TGV duplex set, coupled to one of the older TGV réseau sets, heading north towards Paris. Finally, TGV duplex set number 283 heads south at close to line speed on a service for Lyon. We now travel to Germany and to the Bavarian town of Mühldorf, which is situated on non-electrified lines in the southeast of the country and to the north of Salzburg. A number of locations outside of the town were chosen, one to the south and the remainder to the west, along the single track line that runs towards München. We begin to the south of Mühldorf at the small town of Tüssling, where the line to Burghausen diverges from the southern route down to Freilassing and onwards towards Salzburg. We chose 4 locations around the town, and it is at the main station that we witness Class 218 diesel number 218465 powering the 1206 from Salzburg to Landshut on Thursday the 4th of July 2013. Arriving from the north is Class 628 diesel unit number 433 on the 1236 from Mühldorf to Burghausen. This is one of the hourly passenger trains that can be seen on the branch down to Burghausen. As can be seen, the station still has semaphore signals, which are controlled by 2 boxes situated to the north and south ends of the station. The northern box can be seen in the far distance. The route to Burghausen sees a good deal of freight activity, with lines serving the large chemical park at Gendorf, as well as the OMV oil refinery at Burghausen. The Class 77s are known as Class 247 in Germany, and here we see number 247060 arriving with what we believe is the 1217 from Kastel to Muldorf. The train conveys empty waste containers from the ZAS incinerator plant at Burgkirchen. The camera position now moves to the northern end of the station loops as 247056 and 247049 on the rear arrive with the 1147 from Mühldorf to the Wackerwerks at Burghausen. Just a few minutes later, and 247043 heads north with the 1259 from Kastel to Muldorf, made up of a rake of hopper wagons. Two Class 628 units are normally used on services down towards Burghausen. This is the second unit, set number 569, seen returning north with the 1250 from Burghausen to Muldorf. "40 minutes later, the same unit returns with the 1337 from Muldorf. The train is seen on the sweeping curve just to the south of Tüssling station, on the branch down to Burghausen. The same train is seen departing the station at Heiligenstadt, which is situated on the southern outskirts of Tüssling. There is a rail-connected container port at Gendorf, which serves the various companies located in or around the nearby chemical park. Number 247057 heads a well-loaded train towards Mühldorf. "70% of the waste that goes to the ZAS incinerator plant at Burgkirchen travels by rail, mostly from forwarding points in the southeast corner of Bavaria. 247060 heads towards the camera with the 1347 from Muldorf to the incinerator plant at Burgkirchen. We now move to the Mühldorf-München line just to the west of Weidenbach. At the beginning we moved between filming locations 1 and 2 before travelling west to the station at Schwindeg. Numbers 218444 and 218418 round the curve just west of Wiedenbach, whilst powering the 1536 from Muldorf to München. The same train is seen at our second filming location. In the opposite direction comes 218356 at the head of the 1505 from München to Muldorf. This was followed by 218437 on the 1522 service to Simbach. This is the station building at Schwindeg. The open door leads into a room that houses the signalling apparatus. Counterbalances can be seen over the far track. It is only during the morning and evening peaks that trains are worked by the Class 218 diesels. The rest of the time Class 628 DMUs operate most of the services. Forming the 1543 from Simbach are unit numbers 628628 and 628639. Two 18421 slows for the station stop, whilst powering the 1703 departure for Muldorf. 10 minutes later, and 218440, with 403 on the rear, arrive with the 1619 departure from München. We now travel around 7 kilometres to the west and to the town of Dorphin. We chose 4 filming locations, 1 on the station itself and 3 just to the east, where the countryside meets the houses. Arriving from München is 218465, the same locomotive that we saw at Tüssling. The train is the 1657 from München to Muldorf. DB plans to replace these Class 218s later this year by new Trax ME Class 245 multi-engine locomotives. Two railway enthusiasts await the arrival of the 1750 from Mühldorf, headed by 218463 and 423. In addition to new locomotives, Plans are now being developed to substantially upgrade this line by reinstalling double track along the whole route to Landshut and down to Salzburg. The line will also be electrified and the old mechanical signalling replaced. (218-421) heads west whilst powering the 1737 departure from Mühldorf. Another pairing heads east, this time with 218-422 and 404 in charge. This is the same train seen just moments later. Continuing west, we cover 3 locations on the route towards München. The first is at the station at Tannmatzbach, as 218-418 arrives with the 1854 departure for Muldorf. By now, most of the commuter traffic was dying down, and services were about to revert to diesel multiple unit operation, with just one more eastbound train scheduled to be hauled by a Class 218. Not quite like Tornado Alley in the United States, but this distant rain shower had triggered this mini tornado as it tracked east. (247-054) rounds the corner just to the east of Walpertskirchen with the 1839 freight from Mühldorf to München North Yard. Our final location is here at the station at Hurikaufen, as 218-444 slows with the 2019 departure for Muldorf. In the opposite direction, 247-047 now gets the all clear to continue its journey west. This is a fascinating stretch of railway line that still employs locomotive-hauled passenger trains in the peak periods, together with a good quantity of freight services, particularly east of Muldorf, on the route down to Burghausen. Switzerland provides some of the most diverse railways in the world, and it is its narrow gauge networks that attract a particular affection from railway enthusiasts. One of these lines, the Matterhorn Gotthard Bahn, is the subject of our next section, as we follow the route east of the Oberalppass and onwards towards Disentis, stopping off at a number of locations on the way. Our filming took place on a very windswept 29th of June 2013, with the rain, some of it frozen, making for some difficult filming conditions. We begin at just over 2,000 metres above sea level, close to the station serving the Oberalppass, as locomotive number 102 heads towards the camera, powering the 0852 service from Zermatt to Davos. The same train is seen some 20 minutes later heading east on the approach to Ruras. The village of Ruras is one of several that are located in the area known as Tuyech, situated in the valley and close to the source of the Vorder Rhine River. Making its way up the valley is motor-luggage van number 95. At the rear of this, the 1214 from Disentis to Andermatt. Unusual for Switzerland, this train was running around 8 minutes late. The most famous of the trains that traverse this line are the Glacier Express services running between St. Moritz and Zermatt. Crossing the viaduct east of Zidrun station is number 101 with the 0902 from St. Moritz. Motor luggage van DE44 number 24 is at the head of the 1227 from Andermatt. By now, trains were running some 16 minutes late in both directions. This is the view overlooking Mont-Tuyech station as number 108 descends the grade with the 0952 from Zermatt. In the opposite direction comes the 1002 service from St. Moritz to Zermatt. With the trains now running just 7 minutes late, we see locomotive number 103 dropping down the grade on the approach to the station at Siegnatz with the 952 Glacier Express service from Zermatt to St. Moritz. Motor luggage van number 24 is seen returning with the 1414 from Disentis to Andermatt. Note the open-sided vehicle towards the rear of the train. Finally, we see number 103 climbing up the valley at Montpellier, in charge of the 0915 service from St. Moritz. We now travel to the east of Austria as we take a look at operations on the single track line linking Ebenfurt with the Hungarian town of Sopron. We begin our filming close to Ebenfurt at Neufeld before moving south to Dratzburg, where we retrace our steps north, stopping off at a number of locations on the way. Our filming took place on Wednesday the 3rd of July 2013. The route is electrified at 25 kV and so dual voltage rolling stock is used. Main motive power is Class 4124 electric units and Class 1116 locomotives. This is the scene just to the south of Neufeld station. Just a kilometre and a half further south, 4124032 approaches the camera with a service for Deutschkreuz. The station at Strasbourg is located on a 9% climb towards the Hungarian border. The track forms a wide S-bend in order to gain height. Passenger services tend to operate from Bratislava to Deutschkreuz via a circular route taking in the capital Vienne with a reversal at Ebenfurt. Trains can either be operated by electric multiple units or by Class 1116 locomotives operating push-pull rakes of rolling stock. Number 1116272 is the loco in question on this occasion. A service in the opposite direction arrives powered by 1116029. Cross-border freight traffic is also handled by the Class 1116 electrics. During our afternoon visit, 2 services were seen in the 3 hours we were next to the Lineside, although we suspect that there are probably busier periods earlier in the day. This is 1116192 powering the 12:30 departure from Bratislava. The station at Vulka-Prodersdorf is on the junction with the line that comes down from Parndorf. It meets the line from Ebenfurt, northwest of the town. Arriving with the 1332 service from Vienne is 4124030. During the week, most of these services terminate here. This is the view just north of the town on the line to Ebenfurt. The next station is this one at Mühldorf, as 4124-005 heads north whilst forming the 1433 from Bruck to Ebenfurt. North of the town, some good open countryside allows shots such as this. A Sopron-bound freight is seen headed by an unidentified Class 1116. Locomotive number 1116192 returns from Deutschkreuz with its train bound for Bratislava. This crossing is just a kilometre south of Neufeld. Neufeld is a busy town, with a beach resort next to a small lake just to the east. This Class 4124 heads south and is filmed from the car park that serves the resort. Finally, 1116120 heads south at the rear of this service for Deutschkreuz. Although the line has a limited amount of train types to be seen, it is fairly busy, and with the prospect of long freight trains can be quite rewarding for the modern day railway enthusiast. In our final section of the first part of this programme, we travel to Poland and to the diesel-operated secondary line to the west and east of the town of Nysa, situated in the southwestern part of the country. Our first section comes from the town of Pachkov, some 27 kilometres to the west of Nysa. The station here has a small yard, which is used to stable trainloads of stone chippings excavated from a nearby gravel pit. Seen reversing a set of empties into the quarry sidings is ST44 1240 on the 15th of May 2012. Also seen shunting the gravel sidings is SM42 diesel number 1117. Currently based at Wrocław depot, this locomotive entered traffic in 1988. The hills in the distance form the border with the Czech Republic, which is just 8 kilometres away. Number 1240 is seen heading a trainload of loaded box wagons out towards the station yard. To the east of the station, we can see in the distance number 1240 once more, which has now come to a stand. Whilst approaching the camera is number ST441204, running light engine towards Nice. Another shot of 1240 as it runs around its train. At the other end of the station, ST44s numbers 1236 and 1213 get to grips with their trainload of stone hoppers as they head east at just after 3 p.m. A little further east, and refurbished SM42 diesel, number 1206, heads light engine towards Nice. We now move 35 kilometres to the east of Nice, not far from Prudnik, again on the same double-track route. Dutmarov is the first of two locations visited, the other just to the east of Glogowerk. The station here is very basic, consisting of just two raised platforms with no shelters, the village it serves being 2 kilometres down the road. It is served by 7 trains in each direction per day, normally operating between Kedgerin-Kozla and Nice. Trains are operated by the country's biggest passenger service provider, Przewozy Regionalny, and are a mixture of single rail cars or 2-coach diesel units. SA137003, built in 2010, is one of 5 such units operated by the company. Travelling towards the camera are numbers ST44-1218 and ST43-354. We saw 5 train movements through here in just over an hour. Heading east are ST44s numbers 1220 and 1204, top and tailing this loaded train of aggregates. Arriving with the 1543 from Gieck is single railcar number SA103004, one of 13 of the class which are operated by the company. The units date from 2005. Our final scene in the first part of this programme comes from just east of Glogelweg, as railcar SA 103 004 returns with a service for Nisa.